Good evening. Hello. Hope somebody listens to this. Well, I'm doing it anyway. But there was a Zoom meeting this morning on the Science on Trial website. They were the hosts, and it was absolutely brilliant in respect to the Lucy Letby case. I feel so buoyed up. I feel so charged up with it to see the expertise that's coming together, that's coalescing around this matter. I won't mention the names of the people running it in case they don't want me to. But there's some really smart people here. I mean, I'm just an ordinary, I was just doing some bloody gardening videos before, or like where I live, point and click stuff. But this is brilliant. So, Science on Trial website that you can go to. 800 members already. 800. That people from all walks of life, from all different specialisms. The main person that's organised it, that set it up, who's now coming together with a lot of other really, really brilliant people, has set up all these sort of subgroups that they need to work on in terms of having people from the medical background, people from a legal background, statistical background, social media approach, all this sort of thing. So this was this morning at 11:30, lasted a couple of hours, a couple of fantastic presentations, and a bit of a general discussion, or like looking at the questions people had put in the chat. There's going to be another one next Sunday, I believe, at 11. But you need to join the website to get a link. What else was I going to say? There was I'm having a few drinks, to be fair. I'm having a couple of whiskies, I don't know, I'm so inspired by how brilliant people can be and how they can pull this stuff together. When you're really looking, you need it. Well, Lucy and her family and her friends need it. They need these absolutely amazing minds pulling everything together, which will hopefully then lead to an appeal, So this stuff's got to be fed into whoever the representation is going to be on appeal. Is it going to be the same team? Hopefully it will be someone new. I don't know. I'm not a legal person. I don't know how that should work. I remember Mark MacDonald, a barrister, talking about it, saying that, was it him? Let me just think that back again. No, sorry, it was in the Norman Fenton, Dr. Scott McLachlan video, the 40-minute video, which is absolute dynamite, says towards the end, no, they need someone who's skilled as an appellant, has got that experience as an appeal barrister, as an appeal team, So hopefully that will happen. I think things are really good. I was going to do a video about all this stuff that I'm privately thinking about. I don't understand, on a human level, without going into the technical medical stuff. None of this adds up. I'm just trying to think of one example. There are many, but just one of the ones I come back to is that people who want to get away with being a serial killer, they don't want to be caught. They want to get away with it. They want to keep getting away with it until they make enough mistakes and they happen to be caught. But they want to get away with it. They want a whole career of it. And Lucy's 25 when she's allegedly starting committing these murders. She didn't kill anybody. But anyway. So you've got an example like there's a nurse in America, I haven't got his name to mind, I looked him up the other night, but he allegedly killed dozens, if not, well, who knows now, but he was convicted of that. But his way of going about this, well, first of all, it was just one method he used. But second of all, and more importantly, is that he moved. When people started to accuse him or think he was a bit dodgy, or there were some meetings about him, either the hospital moved him out and said, you're not really cut out for our hospital, and he worked somewhere else, and he kept moving around, and What Lucy Letby did, what she did, was bring a grievance process against those consultants, in which she wanted to stay where she was, where she had been suspected. Does that sound like a serial killer? To stay where you're suspected of having done things wrong? And more than that, and this is, got to be a bit careful here, this is with the testimony of Dr. Ravi Jayaram. He said that in the mediation process, when he had to sit with, he'd had to read out the apology letter that he'd written and that the rest of the team had written. And he said that Lucy said to him, it was the idea that they would work with her. In other words, she was, as a result of the mediation, she could come back to that unit. But Lucy said, as a supplementary question, she said, but will you be happy to work with me? Will you be happy to work with me? That's somebody who cares about their name, their reputation. They want that even at that stage, she wanted these bastards to feel respect for her, to feel, even though they've done her over, they've ruined her life. She will get out. Mark my words, she absolutely will get out on appeal. But even at that stage, this is the measure of her, who she was. She wanted her name respected. She wanted her reputation respected, because she knew she'd done nothing wrong. They went after an innocent person because that place was a basket case. And I've been tweeting on Twitter, in particular about this journalist called, I don't know, he works for the Sunday Times, called Linton. That's his surname. And he's going for her. He's going for his, all this glib journalistic bollocks, going for her, all this list of all these things about what she did. She chose the night times to do it and everything. He also has in his lovely little thread, he also has an acknowledgement that the unit was deemed a sort of dangerous place to work. There was all kinds of problems there, a litany of problems there which could lead to harms, and obviously did, because there was this massive spike outside of the murders, beyond and above and outside of the murders that Lucy was convicted of. There's up to 33 deaths there. I say up to because we don't know the statistics. That's the main thing we're still trying to get at. It's at least 17. It could be 31, could be 33, could be more than 33. We don't know what the numbers are there, but we do know there was a massive spike there across 2015 and 16. Lucy gets convicted or charged then convicted of 7. What's causing the rest of the spike? And that's what this Linton creep, it doesn't work it out. They're not interested. No critical thinking, no imagination at all. So he in one breath he says this place is a basket case, it's dangerous, understaffed, not the right level of people there in terms of their experience, not enough nurses to cover, too many very, 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 very ill babies, or babies that are very, very, who are neonates who have been born very, very premature. And that's where the other thing comes in, what I was talking about last night. As soon as Lucy Letby leaves, July 2016, they say they're not going to take any very, very premature babies anymore. Come on, This is a stitch-up of monumental proportions. It's horrific, and it shows all these elements of being so dumb and so stupid. The police, the judicial system. We've got to get further into this guy, Dowie Evans, the main expert witness for the prosecution. We've got to get into him. There's stuff on him already about his incompetences prior, and his giving evidence outside of his quote unquote expertise. He's another Professor Roy Meadow. That's what's happening, in the Sonny Clark case, where that was overturned. an expert witness to do with cock death, that he blamed these mothers for killing their children. Like, I think about 3, 4, possibly 5 cases. At least three. Sally Clark was one of them. I don't know. Very emotionally involved. I don't mind that. It's just what it is. About a week ago, I was just doing videos about sunflowers. Had followed the case. Had followed the case. Had followed the trial to quite a degree, in terms of the prosecution, defence statements, the judges summing up, etc. It's a feeling, but then it grows, and then you add more and more to it in terms of these very, very specific arguments. They wanted somebody to blame. There's a bunch of narcissistic, or maybe 1 or 2 very specifically narcissistic, ghastly consultants wanted to blame someone here. And they didn't have the honour to withdraw it. They just went after this nurse, Lucy Letby, 25-year-old. Nothing in her background says serial killer. Nothing. Her best friend from childhood said the only way, I can't remember her name, but right from childhood, primary school, I think, the only way that I will believe that Lucy did this is if Lucy tells me herself that she did it. I believe her, as opposed to this ghastly system that has just railroaded Lucy Letby. That's what I believe. Anyway, I dotted all around there, but please join if you want to, of course, if anybody listens to this, please join the Science on Trial website. And like I say, there's 800, probably more by now, probably 850 or more. And there's some amazing minds there. And they're moving at such a speed. I just realise I can just stand back and watch and think, that's incredible how these people are pulling this stuff together. These really sharp people. And it's just such a boost to know that there's a coalescence or whatever of these very skilled, very experienced people from very different disciplines coming together because they know something's wrong here. And that's what's been the engine to draw them in. They're not just woke up in the morning and think, what shall I do today? I'll just start challenging this. No, they can sense and feel there's something wrong. Anyway, hope I haven't been too manic. Cheers. And cheers to Lucy Letby and her family, and that this nightmare for them will be coming to an end. It must be absolutely unbearable for them, but it will be coming to an end, and there are a lot of people on her side. But yeah, Science on Trial, that seemed to be a very, very focal website you can join and look at. Lots of forums going on there. They're going to be adjusting those to make them more user-friendly. Lots of stuff going on Twitter. Some of it pugnacious. I think that's all fine, and that's all part of it. This is a war for the truth, and it's a war for justice. It's a fight for justice. We can't have an innocent person given a life sentence for something they haven't done. And as I said last night, or the other video, there's echoes out of here about we need the truth. We've got a hunger for the truth here, whether it's about what's happened in Lahaina, in Maui, what's happened with the quote-unquote vaccines, or this individual case. We've got a hunger for justice. We've got a hunger for the truth. And people like them, that organisations like the legacy mainstream media, they're not going to give it to us. They don't give a damn. There's no emotional investment there at all. Anyway, I didn't think I was going to speak this long. So if anyone's listened to all this, thank you. But I hope I haven't been too annoying. But yeah, we're on the right track. God bless. All the best.